Hello and welcome back to Boring Dead Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more of the Roottrees Are Dead. And we're going to try and make some headway on this. I had a little bit of a dead end last time, I think. But I'm going to try a new avenue today, I think. I'm going to concentrate, I think, on this photo. It's got slightly fewer people in it. At least one of whom, maybe two of whom I've already identified, I think. But maybe we can use this to make a little more inroads into some of the other areas. So the next generation. So we know these are the ones after the generation after the 5Pieces. Is Lauren's generation, because this lady here in the blue dress, that's Lauren. Gwyn is not here. An attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5Pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the four of us stand together. So I think this chap here in the white suit, he looks very much like Lauren's dad. So I think that is Eli. So let's quickly go to the board. So there's Lauren. So there's one of her brothers. Yeah. So, well, I guess... The problem is, I don't know whose children came from Eli yet. Right, let's go back to the picture. Grandma, so this would have been Gwyneth. Insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I'm wondering if this is Miracle, because of the dark glasses. Also the coloured tie, like their whole deal was sort of quite bright colours. Sam. This is probably Miracle Jr. then. I'm guessing this is Sam. Who's Sam? I don't know. Alright. Are there any others on this list I haven't really looked up yet? So Carl Roottree, I've tried looking into him, but he's not crossed off yet. Gwyneth's a funny one, because she should be... It must be the occupation. It doesn't like this... We know she inherited a farm, but a farmer, I guess, is probably the wrong answer then. Wait, there was... Hang on, something's bothering me about that. Not this one. Eli. Maybe that's not him. What was the older photo? So this is her dad. I wonder if it's... Maybe this could be Eli. Because these two are her brothers, right? So this is... Like it could be a nephew? This could be Eli? Damn, I don't think I've got enough info on this one. Now we've got a Sam. Sam Cattrall. He's the only Sam. Unless there's a Samantha. There is Samantha Roottrees. So we've got a there's a couple of unidentified women there that could be a Sam. Samantha Roottrees. Ooh, okay, I probably need to. Gwyneth Anderson is bothering me. I wonder if have I searched for her maiden name? Okay, I don't think I've had this before. Information on a website for the first Anderson maple farm. There are a few pictures, including a famous picture of Elias and Gwyneth, which has been added. Maybe I have read this. Okay, before marrying Elias, she had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the maple farm as long as she married. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with other flavours. This led to 5Pieces, which are still found in stores today. Though the Roottrees Candy Company expanded well beyond their original farm, it has been preserved as a tourist attraction. According to their website, there are still daily demonstrations and educational tours that show off many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. Okay, so she wasn't a farmer, she was a housewife. Aha! Okay, which ones have locked in? There's going to be 3 more. Gwyneth, Miracle, and Elias Jr. Okay, you've also... Okay. Getting some stuff coming in here. Booyah. Okay, good. That was bothering me. I'm sure I'd put Housewife in previously, but I guess maybe I hadn't done 2 others to make it a set of 3. So Jacob was locked in. Who else? Miracle. One of those just got locked. Oh, it was Miracle up here, wasn't it? He got locked in. Okay, well that's good. So if we go to the notables list now. It's just Carl Roottrees, and I have searched for him. I think he was the first search I did. But for whatever... I think because I haven't worked out what his job was yet. Now, why don't we search for his company then? So it was called Root Inc., wasn't it? Let's look him up again. Oh, it's just root dot. Let's just highlight that and do a straight up search for it. Okay. It's a clothing company. They make clothes for children, from toddlers to teenagers. Although the website is down, you find countless retail sites attempting to advertise their clothes. One of them had this to say: "You've spied the Roottrees sisters looking hella fly in the catalogues, magazines and posters. Now you too could be like Riley, Rose or Raina." You also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogues. Apparently Root has released 2 catalogues per year every year since '84, and Raina appeared on almost all of them. There is only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. It seems that Brenda Roottrees, their mother and Root's head designer, appeared on only one cover, holding her daughter Rose in '85. Oh, then her birth name. Well, we know her birth name. We've figured that one out. Okay. Well, it does say president, so It doesn't say which number. We're going to have to work that out, I think. Now, of any of the ones who've been locked in, were any of them president? We know that's the first president. Elias, I think, was the second. Interesting, I looked. Yeah, so Gwendoline, I don't know her job yet. I'm sure I've tried searching for her and there's nothing. What about... I'm presuming I've tried searching for James Morden. Yeah, there's not a lot about him. But anyway, he wasn't a president. He was an architect. He was the second president. He was a preacher. So the third president would have come off here, I think. I've got him down as the fourth. Alright. Oof, making slow headway at the moment. This is still showing as there's some... Oh. Oh, there's other entries. Okay. This might open up something. Okay. So an entry entitled Complaints from her diary in 53, focusing specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who's on the notice. Gwyn is the actress, right? It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. So, watch over 3 younger brothers. So, for Lauren, we now know that she's got 3 brothers. So we'll do unknown male, unknown male, unknown male. During the summer, where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. So, okay, so Gwen's mother... Margot lead. I wonder if Margot Roottrees brings up anything. No. And that I do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now, she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. We've already got Clark down as her son. I must admit seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. Now, I searched for Harrison Lane. He wasn't in the list of names that I have. But what about Bill Williams? Is he in here? No, I don't have a Williams. In the periodical search, what do I need again? What if I highlight Starlet? Okay, we've added a new periodical. Often in Starlet, most mentions were around the time of her divorce from Wild Bill Williams. Okay, so we didn't have a Williams in the thing. I wonder if that's a stage name. The gossip is speculative and full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focused on the fact that when she announced her divorce, she also announced she was pregnant again. Others mention that the rumour is Wild Bill had multiple affairs, which left her heartbroken. There was an interview from earlier in mid-57 where she was asked about her last name. She answered, the power of a name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names and honouring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall, but Roottrees has power. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild, combined with the alliteration Williams, is incredibly memorable. Let's, so who was Gwyn's father? We don't know, but, it sounds like Cornwall. Probably Linus Cornwall, then. Do I have a Williams? Or a William. After this, I'll look up see if it's a stage name. Where am I? Although we've relocated to Paris, I know your readers love to keep up with my husband, so consider this a started exclusive about both of us. Wild Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking with Roottrees for the last name, not Williams. Why is Williams not in the list? But we also plan to lean into alliteration. That's how we'll honour both. Okay, so is there an RR? R Roottrees. Let's go back to the board. So this is... What did it say about the pregnant again thing? Oh, this is an earlier one. So this, she's talking about a first child then, and I think we're looking for an R Roottrees. Okay, we have Robert or Ronald. So that still doesn't help, really, does it? And these photos might be the wrong way around. I've just picked which one I thought would look the oldest. But we can maybe Google their names at some point. Okay, so let's go back to this one. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. Okay, well that opens up a lot of things. So, if every other Roottrees woman up till now has been a housewife, I wonder if that might finalise some of this stuff. Okay, not a set of 3 at least. Which, yeah. So, you would expect if... I wonder if he was the third president. Okay, so something's not right on these. Now, I did think that these could arguably be the wrong way around, these pictures. I kind of made assumptions on that. I'll go back to the way I had it. Not quite sure where those aren't going. The first Roottrees woman, anything other than a housewife. But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I'm also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. An entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 58. It focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president of the Roottrees Candy Company in the meeting to determine his successor. Now this is important. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Who is Clancy? I don't think we've seen a Clancy. Could be the family attorney or someone like that, I guess. Let's continue for now. Grandad was furious that none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it for so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, no one's got time for candy. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step in, it comes into us next, gents. Well, this is the key information. He must be a lawyer, then. So I've got the others locked in. Okay. Preacher, lawyer, architect. So, something's still not right with these entries. It could be the photo. Let's try the photos around again and see if that gives us a batch of 3. No. Okay, something's still not right there. Remember, it was their last occupation, so something might have happened after that previous diary entry. One of these ladies changed her job. It could be a female president. Let's find out. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Who's Clancy? Zach as well. I don't have either of those in place yet. I thought I had another photo of him, I guess not. Okay, there's names. I don't even know where to begin fitting them in right now. Since we still have the... I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it. Our branch of the family, since we have the Roottrees name. So that rules out this one. I think this is Morden's. There's this one. Oh, this could be Clancy then. See, Roottrees, they're the most senior. I don't think any of her brothers is a Clancy. So I'm gonna lock in a Clancy Edward. Oh, okay. Okay, well, Clancy Jr. suggests a child down here. But he didn't become the president. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Grandad has always had a very particular views when it came to his bloodline. Okay, so let's go back. So this is the firstborn 5-piece, Gwendolyn. So this would be Zachariah Roottree. Ah, well, he's... Okay, so he's... Is there a Zachariah Morden? Yes, there is. Okay, so he was the second president. Let's continue reading. Okay, bloodline. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. Firstborn son, so not firstborn child necessarily. Okay, so this is going to be Angie Morden. So Angelica Morden. Unknown. And this would be Zach. There we go. I think that's right now. And I'm the next oldest of us all, but he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered that back. Maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. Oh, I know that. Yeah, okay, I know who this is going to be then. It's the chunky boy. All right. Well, which three did we lock in? I think I'm still off on Carl. Okay, we've got Marguerite, we've got Gwendoline, and we've got Zachariah. Good.
You're listening to WRTG.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Roottree family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
Alright, let's do that now, because I'll probably forget about that. Just so it gets like loaded in. WRTD. During their news segments, they talked about the plane crash, they talked about a picture taken from the office. During the interview, it's revealed that there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. Well, this is the photo that's ended up with us, isn't it? This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternative agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the Roottree curse being a real, true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." Well, let's search for Roottree curse. Okay, quite a long article. There's a long, rambly conspiracy website with very small, very red text on a black background that says the Roottrees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Important update. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the company have died mysteriously. They say Guy's car was hit by a... Okay. I don't have a Guy there, but let's count. So 1... We know the second one was Zach, so that's 2. Guy, 3. Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down, 4. So Carl is actually the 5th president. Ernie Madsen Jr., whom I don't think I have any Madsens on my... no. Maybe. I'll have to have a look at this. So let me quickly go to my board. So where are the Madsens? They're... I don't know if I have any Madsens on my list yet. These are Mordens. But then this might have split off into Madsens. I don't know. We don't know enough yet. But I think I can safely make Carl the 5th president now. So that should be right. Next time we get a set of 3, that should be right. I'm surprised this one didn't get locked in. Question for another day. So what else do we have? So there was... Guy was the 3rd. I don't know who he is yet. Ernie Madsen Jr. There's another entry that claims if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5Pieces wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. Okay. A few months ago, an entry claims that the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75 at Prodigy US, asking him to take down his site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. Okay. The first entry is from '96 and has a blurry picture of the Roottree candy company seemingly taken by the website's author from behind a fence and through some trees. It seems that Operation Blah is real. I witnessed a helicopter land on February 29th, '96. All ideas and image by Thomas Overwood. Well, okay, I might Google him. Nest, maybe. Okay. Okay, not getting any hits there. let's go back to the diary anyway. We're making some headway with this. Let's go to the next entry. Sam. An entry titled Sam from Lauren Roottrees' diary written in 63. From a previous entry, you learn that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in the family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Grandad had a brother or two, but I was told..." Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's any clue to gender up here. Nothing yet. After all, Granny had sisters... Okay, and Grandad had a brother or two, but they're not on the none of those are on the family tree. But I was told, trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realise. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognise Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. Okay, Uncle Junior, who would that be? So where's Lauren? So we're looking at this generation. Uncle Junior. It's got to be him. Patsy. Patricia Christensen. Patricia Jones. Okay, without the second name, that's difficult to put in. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he... Did we get... I can't remember if I got Clancy in. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Well, this would be EC, wouldn't it? He's the only direct child I haven't locked in yet. Oh, I put Clancy in there. Well, that makes sense, I think. John. All three are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Okay. So we've got Eli Roottree here. Probably Elias M then. Elias Miracle, probably. Don't know much more than that yet. We also know that Lauren has an Elias. Oh, Eli. Why would her brother be called Eli? Don't have any more Elis. What was the original 5 Pieces? Yes, I was wondering if maybe these relate to the names of the newest generation, but I don't think it does. So where's the original ad? CE, yeah. GECEMMB. So he's not locked in. Have I got that name wrong? What if he's Clancy Edward? I've gone with C. Elias. I'm going with M there because I think that maybe the middle name could be Miracle. I think she's got a brother called Elias. Which would make sense if, like, he'd chosen a name after his dad. But then... Clancy Jr. I'm going to have to wait till I've got like another set of 3 going, but I wonder if that's what the issue is with that. Yeah, we'll try that, because I was just, I think everything else on his entry is right. EC and John. The farmhands, EC and John. So who's EC? Do we have this Eloise that doesn't have a surname? John. I haven't even seen it, John. I didn't see a John on the list. Maybe that's not relevant. Eli. Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Even... Yeah, so one of her... Well, we don't know which, but one of her brothers has got to be that C. Elias. Even chimed in. Apparently when he was riding in his mini-bike along the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons. But Eli certainly seemed thrilled. Multitude of reasons. None of us think that proper, so it could be because Sam is Samantha and they don't think, you know, at this time period, people didn't think that women should be fiddling around with things like motorbikes. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Grandad making an exception now? So there's an offshoot here. Someone who is on the list. And who is in the... this Sam is in the 70s photo. Is it 70s or is it 50s? I'm not sure. The one that she's in anyway. Alright, let's look at the last entry for now. One of the final entries called Clark from 64. Clark's getting married, in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. Okay, let's go over to Clark. So we have a Danielle. How many Danielles do we have on our list? Got Franks. That's the only one. So let's put Danielle Franks in there. Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. So he's in the free spirit photo, but there is a lot of people in that photo. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Pop was Clancy. I think she's got a brother called Clancy, but why would her brother send her child to the academy? I'm not sure, but we do have student. Oh, kindergarten to 12. Yeah, so probably college then. College student? I mean, obviously this would have been 30 years before the crash, so that's probably not correct at the time we're looking at. Wonder what academy? There might be other references to an academy. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. Ah, okay. Paths of knowledge. And the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was to bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. Suggests that maybe her older brother is Edward? I'll pop that in for now. I'll pop in lawyer as well, like if he's gonna take over the family business. If we go back to the photo with them all, so he looks like he could be a lawyer, right? Because he's got glasses. But then there's the other brother who she said looked like him. Now I'm torn between him. Okay, well I'll read about that photo again in a bit. Yeah. Carl. Oh, wait, that's Clark. So, oh, Carl. So this is going to be Clancy Jr. then. That makes sense. Carl went to the academy. Okay. I thought it said Clark, so that's why I got confused there. Okay. Well, he wasn't a lawyer then. And that's probably him. Because this is clearly the youngest, isn't he? And then I guess this is going to be Edward Roottrees. Okay, we'll have to wait on a bit more. As for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob. Jacob. When we were walking in the woods after school. Oh, that's our husband. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Okay. So that would be twins. It's hard to say, but I'll try and Zach's sister, which is Angelica, twins. Okay, so maybe I should put this in notes. Oh, I've got some notes here. Clancy lectures on the Middle Ages. Okay, that could be useful. So Clancy was a lecturer. That could be Clancy then, couldn't it? So if I put this lecturer there, probably professor. See, I'm now thinking that could be him again. Oh, hello. What do we got? Yeah. Okay, Carl finally locked in. So this is... Yeah, so Clancy... So I had him as C. Elias before, so that was definitely wrong. Cool. Well, I'm pleased we got those done. Someone at the... Oh, got the phone.
So, you may have heard the news. Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the pictures and mail I brought you earlier. I promise I didn't steal it, but I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed. I'm a Roottrees. I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big the family doesn't approve of. If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more, in person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Okay, so let's have a quick overview then. So we're doing quite well in the middle of the tree. Not bad on the right. Basically nothing on the left yet. The Morden line is a bit of a closed book to us at the moment. So that means that this photo must be him. Okay. Now if we're looking at a Sam that she's desperate to include, I mean... I still feel maybe there's something down there, but this tree's also a bit of a mess, but I guess that's another story. Let's keep looking at this entry, because I haven't got to the bottom of this. Raising twins, that's as far as I got. Gwyn is Gwyn, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. The free spirits. In any other family, they'd all end up on the streets, even Clark. Okay. I think that's probably a good place to leave it for now, actually. Like, we've made some solid progress today. We're up to 18 out of 33 now, which is pretty cool. Was that 18 done, 33 left? Or is that's the next kind of milestone when like our employer comes back to us, isn't it? But I think that the key names are all done now. Notable Roottrees. So basically it's going to get harder from here. These are the free spirits, so I'm pretty sure these are miracle babies. We're looking for people who could be twins, I suppose. I'm not sure. Bonnie, next president, Guy Hudson. Oh, yeah. There was some... Guy Hudson, so we haven't seen the Hudson line yet. Yeah, okay. So this is probably... Now, she said her brother Eli, didn't she? So... I think the other Eli must be here. Must be C. Elias. Cool. Okay, yeah, let's leave it there for now. I'm not quite sure what my next step is, because I kind of... I identified most of these now. Well, I think he's Miracle. Have I got a chance to... Oh, I have. So I think... Yeah, I think this is... I think that's Miracle. Hasn't been locked in, but that might happen later. I'm not sure. Insisted we include Sam. Okay, so at this point we know it's not him. I think the redhead must be Sam. It's not Lauren and her brothers. It's not Miracle and his son. It's not Zach. The two choices are the lady on the right, who I think might be so otherwise these are all the next generation. It's this line of the family tree. Plus Miracle. Gwyn wasn't there, we know. Zach's in it. I think the lady with the black hair, I think she may be Angelica. Because she looks like her mother. It's the dark hair. I think this line was dark haired, apart from this guy. So that would make Sam here. And there is this top secret thing. I wonder if this is an offshoot of that working hypothesis. So we've placed all of that generation's pictures now. He wasn't there, but then he was very young, so it's possible that this guy wasn't born yet. So if we're looking at what I think we can lock in next time, I think Edward will lock in. Elias C, I don't know. CE was working on the... No, EC was working on the farm, so... we could work out what Angelica may have done. I don't want to assume housewife, but hopefully we might be able to lock that in. Seeing if there's enough for 3 next time, soon. Yeah, so I think that's him in that photo. Have we got another? That's probably, yeah, because I think that's probably the other Miracle then. I don't know if he would have been a preacher. It's probable their whole line was. I could put it in for now. Yeah, okay. I keep saying we'll leave it there. We will leave it there for now. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Roottrees Are Dead. If you have, if you could hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. Do leave a comment as well. Let me know your thoughts on the progress we're making. I don't think there's anything hugely obvious I've missed yet. There's a lot of information flying at me, so there's probably stuff I've read earlier and forgotten that I've read. But at some point I'm going to work back through everything, I think, and just try and pick out any crumbs that I've ignored up to this point. But yeah. Let me know in the comments your thoughts anyway, and if you're watching this and not subscribed to the channel as yet, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.